Well, howdy folks, my name is Stuart. Today I'm going to be talking about getting a jury summons and one of our senators that recently was in the news over such. Now we all know that Senator Graham got a jury summons and then blew it off. All right, and then got in some trouble and then decided, oh, I'd better go ahead and appear for this. All right, so in other words, he got a lot of backlash on the whole thing and then started cooperating. Here's the thing. Okay, it's a senator, it's a U.S. senator. When a grand jury summons goes out, grand juries, first of all, let's think about that. Grand juries are convened for the purpose of determining whether or not there is enough evidence to take somebody to trial and to try to convict them of a crime that maybe they have committed or that they're accused of having committed. And so that's what the grand jury is there for. It is a very important thing. That is the stopgap, ladies and gentlemen, between the police and DAs just charging you and moving forward. And that's so the grand jury becomes sort of the sorting out area where you have some smart folks impaneled to make a decision on whether or not somebody really was properly charged or whether the charges are just bogus. And so we need our grand juries to do their job. Now, in order to do their job, when they send out a summons, that means you show up and you testify. And who knows what you're going to testify about. They may have questions for you that you don't expect. All right, so it's very important. Anytime you get a jury summons, or excuse me, not jury summons, but a summons from a grand jury to testify, that you do so. Any summons is very important. You get a summons from court and you don't show up, well, that means there's going to be a finding against you, and then you're not going to be happy later on. So show up for the summons. Very simple, ladies and gentlemen. We have a senator that said, no, I'm not going to do that. Now, here's the thing. I turn to my elected officials and use them as a guidepost, as a guide for proper behavior. Now, Senator Graham, I'm asking you, is proper behavior saying no to a grand jury summons? Or is that improper behavior? And don't sit there and try to pull this, oh, well, if you're in the government, you are beyond having to do that. BS. That doesn't work with me. It doesn't work with a lot of Americans. You see, as we see it, being that you're in public office, you should be held not to a lower standard, but yet to a higher standard. So not only should you show up, you should make it public that you're showing up on time or early to make a good showing of the right way to behave relative to our judicial system. Senator Graham, what you did was wrong. It flies in the face of what we have established in this country for a judicial system. This is how we resolve problems, and you're interfering with that. Folks, look, I truly believe that our leaders should be providing an example to our children and to us of good behavior, an example of the appropriate way to handle situations, the right way to do things. And ladies and gentlemen, not showing up for a grand jury summons isn't the right way to do it. When you get summoned by a court, or if you were to ever be summoned by Congress, you would be smart to show up. And by the way, that's appropriate behavior. That's the right thing to do. You get your summons and you go when you're told to go. Plain and simple. If you get a jury summons, that's important. You've been asked to be a part of the whole process. That's huge. So definitely show up. That's about all I have to say. It has to do with we need better leadership, or at least our leadership willing to step up and act like leaders. I'll do a separate video on leadership and what I believe about that. However, this was all about summons and Senator Graham saying no. So tell me what you think about it right down in the comments section there. If you would, please subscribe to Trotter's Tips. I'm just trying to get this up and going, and I only want 1 million subs, so as you can see, I'm not that greedy. So go ahead, subscribe, tell your friends about me, share these videos, and if you got any suggestions for something that you would like me to tackle, put it in the comments. Thumbs up is always appreciated, and please, folks, you have a good day. Bye-bye.